What if the voice in your head isn't you, but the echo of everything you've been trying to outgrow? Every moment you spend trapped in looping thoughts, you drift further from the calm, intuitive truth waiting just beneath the noise. Imagine this: your mind, once a tangled storm of doubts and what-ifs, becomes a quiet, open sky. No clutter, no spirals, just space for clarity, peaceful, and connection to who you truly are. But here's the paradox: the more you think, the less you know. The more you chase peace, the more it slips through your fingers. So what if peace doesn't come from solving everything, but from unthinking your way home to yourself? Because your higher self isn't found in overanalyzing the past or obsessing over the future. It lives now in stillness, in simplicity, in the space between thoughts. And right now, you have a choice: keep spiraling, or learn to listen deeper to the wisdom beneath the noise. Ready to detox your mind and come back to clarity? Hit like if this awakened something in you, and subscribe for weekly insights that go beyond the surface. Every week, we go deeper. Practical tools, soul-centered guidance, and transformational teachings to align with your higher self. Because clarity isn't a luxury. It's your birthright, and it starts now. Introduction: the beginning of the end of overthinking. Welcome. If you're here, you're likely tired, not just physically, but mentally. Tired of the constant chatter in your mind, the loops, the spirals, the endless what-ifs and should-haves that never seem to stop. But here's the truth: most people never tell you. You don't need to think your way out of overthinking. You need to feel release and remember the calm that's always been within you. This course isn't just about managing stress. It's about something deeper: reclaiming clarity, restoring inner peace, reconnecting with your higher self, the wise, intuitive, grounded presence inside you that's been waiting patiently beneath the noise. By the end of this course, you will know how to stop spiraling thoughts before they take over, create mental space and emotional stillness without needing to escape or distract yourself, feel more focused, spiritually grounded, and emotionally resilient. Replace mental clutter with clarity, direction, and deeper connection to the present moment. Build daily rituals that protect your peace and awaken your inner calm naturally and consistently. What makes this course different? Most courses try to fix your mind. This one helps you free it. We don't just throw tools at the problem. We guide you inward, step by step, to understand and release the roots of overthinking from the inside out. This is a blend of neuroscience-backed practices, higher self-alignment, and grounded spiritual wisdom that honors both your humanity and your divinity. You'll receive simple, soul-centered tools that are easy to integrate. No fluff, no jargon, just transformation that sticks. Your invitation: this is more than a course. It's a turning point, a conscious decision to stop letting your mind run the show and start letting your essence lead. So take a breath, let go of needing to figure it all out right now, and instead make one powerful choice. Commit to showing up for your peace. Because once you learn to live from clarity, there's no going back to chaos. Welcome to your path home. Let's begin. Welcome to Module 1. The hidden cost of overthinking. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes, unless you're driving, and simply breathe. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Again, feel that. That's the space we're going to reclaim in this course. This first module isn't about fixing anything. It's about seeing clearly. Because to truly let go of overthinking, we must first understand what it's doing to us. silently, constantly, invisibly shaping how we feel, how we live, and who we believe we are. Part 1. The psychology of overthinking. Overthinking is often mistaken for being careful or responsible, but at its core, it's a mental coping mechanism driven by fear, control, and uncertainty. When your mind loops endlessly, it's trying to avoid discomfort, control outcomes, find safety in prediction, prevent pain before it happens. Sounds reasonable, right? But here's the paradox. The more we overthink, the more unsafe, unclear, and emotionally exhausted we become. Think about it. How many times have you mentally rehearsed a conversation that never happened, or replayed something from the past you cannot change, or felt paralyzed by indecision, unable to move forward because your mind won't stop analyzing every path? This is what overthinking steals from us, not just time, but peace, presence, power. Part 2. The spiritual cost. Now, let's zoom out, beyond the brain, into the soul. Spiritually, overthinking disconnects us from the present moment, and therefore, from our higher self, that quiet, wise, deeply knowing part of you that doesn't operate in words, logic, or fear. The higher self doesn't shout, it whispers, and when your mind is loud, your intuition gets drowned out. In overthinking, we stop trusting ourselves, mute our inner guidance, prioritize logic over truth, replace knowing with doubting. The result: a life that looks fine on the outside, but feels anxious, restless, and misaligned on the inside. Part 3. What is it costing you? So I want to ask you, and I encourage you to grab your journal for this. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what has overthinking cost me? Not just in obvious ways, but emotionally, spiritually, relationally. Let me guide you with a few questions. How many moments of peace have you missed because your mind wouldn't quiet down? What decisions have you delayed or avoided altogether because you couldn't stop thinking? Have you ever abandoned something your soul wanted because your brain talked you out of it? How has overthinking affected your sleep, your creativity, your relationships? What version of yourself is buried beneath the noise? Write what comes up. Let it flow. Don't filter. Don't edit. This is the beginning of detoxing your mind, not just with tools, but with truth. Part 4. Identifying your patterns. To change anything, we must first become aware of it. So let's map your overthinking pattern. There are typically 5 common triggers that spark overthinking. Fear of making the wrong decision, fear of judgment or rejection, need to control or predict outcomes, unprocessed emotional pain from the past, feeling disconnected from intuition or purpose. Take a moment now. Which of these feel familiar to you? Can you trace your spiral back to one of these roots? Maybe yours starts small, a question, a text left unread, an upcoming choice, and then snowballs into hours of mental chaos. Or maybe it's more subtle, a background hum of anxiety that never fully leaves. Awareness is the first layer of healing. So this week, start observing when your mind loops. Notice what triggered it. What story did your mind start telling? And how did it feel in your body? You don't need to stop it yet. Just see it. Because what we witness with compassion, we can eventually release. Part 5. Your inner work this week. Here's what I invite you to do after this session. Journal prompt. What has overthinking cost me emotionally, spiritually, energetically? Track your triggers. Use a notes app or journal to jot down moments you catch yourself overthinking. What sparked it? What did your mind say? How did your body feel? Optional ritual. At the end of the day, light a candle or sit quietly and ask, If I had followed my higher self today, what would have been different? Reflect without judgment. Part 6. Closing reflection. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not too much. Your mind simply got used to doing a job your soul was never meant to outsource. But now, that changes. You're remembering, reclaiming, realigning. This is just the beginning, but it's a powerful one. And the more aware you become, the quieter the mind gets. And in that quiet, you'll start to hear something beautiful. You, the real you, the clear you, the calm you. Let's keep going. Now, close your eyes, let your shoulders drop, breathe in and breathe out. One more time, slower now. Let the noise settle. Let the world fall away. And now, receive this letter, not from someone else, but from you, the real you, the one who's always known. A letter from your higher self. Hello, love. You don't have to try so hard right now. I see how heavy your thoughts have become. I feel the weight you carry that no one else sees. The endless loops, the spirals, the chasing of answers that never seem to come. You keep trying to figure it all out, as if peace is something to be earned. As if you are one decision away from being enough. But I need you to hear me. You were never meant to carry all of this. You were meant to feel, to trust, to be. You don't need to control everything to be safe. You don't need to think your way to clarity. You are allowed to rest. Right now, in this breath, you are already whole. You are already wise. You are already worthy of calm. I have never judged you for the chaos in your mind. I have only ever waited for you to return to the stillness that is your nature. When you forget, I will remind you. You are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are not the story you've repeated 1,000 times. You are the presence beneath the storm. You are the awareness behind the noise. You are the light that was never dimmed, only temporarily clouded. Come home to me. Not by solving, but by softening. Not by doing more, but by being here. Let go of what was. Let go of who you think you should be. Let go of the need to explain your pain, and just breathe. I will meet you there in the quiet, where peace isn't something you earn. It's something you remember. I've never left you. I've only waited for you to slow down long enough to hear me. With infinite love, your higher self. When you're ready, open your eyes, or stay here in the quiet a little longer. Let this letter live in you. Come back to it as often as you need, because your clarity was never lost. It was just waiting beneath the noise. You are safe to return to yourself. Welcome to Module 2. Awareness is power. In the last module, you explored what overthinking has cost you, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. But now, we begin to take that power back, not by force, not by fixing, but through awareness. Because the moment you become aware of a thought, you are no longer inside it, you are observing it. And in that simple shift, you reclaim your choice. Let's begin. Part 1. The truth about awareness. Here's something to remember. You can't control every thought, but you can choose what you stay with. Your brain is designed to produce thoughts. It's what it does. But awareness is what allows you to catch a spiral before it deepens. To interrupt the storm. To say, wait, I see what's happening here, and I choose something else. The average person thinks over 60,000 thoughts a day. Most are unconscious, many are repetitive, and some carry the power to shift your entire mood, behavior, or energy, but only if you let them. So this module is about reclaiming that space, the sacred space between the thought and the reaction. This is where your power lives. Part 2. practice, the awareness pause. Let me teach you a tool that you'll come back to again and again. It's simple and powerful. It's called the awareness pause. Here's how it works. Name what's happening in your mind. Feel what's happening in your body. Pause for one breath. Choose your next move consciously. Let's try it now. Part 3. Guided practice. Awareness pause. Take a moment. Bring to mind a recent situation that triggered stress or overthinking. Nothing too intense, just something familiar. Now, let's walk through the steps together. Name it. Say to yourself, I'm noticing that I'm overthinking, spiraling. Call it gently, without judgment. Feel it. Where does it live in your body? Chest, belly, jaw. Breathe into that space. No need to fix, just notice. Pause for one breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel your awareness expand. Choose. Ask, what do I want to do next? From clarity, not fear. Even if you still feel uncertain, you've interrupted the loop, and that's everything. Part 4. Guided exercise. Name, claim, and reframe. Now let's go deeper. This is your pattern interception ritual. Use it when you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or lost in your head. I'll walk you through it. Grab a notebook if you'd like to write this down later, or just listen now. 1. Name the dominant thought or emotion. Example, I'm afraid I'll mess this up, or I feel like I'm falling behind, or I'm overthinking what they think of me. Don't analyze, just name. 2. Claim, own your experience, not as failure, but as awareness. Example, this is a pattern I've used to feel safe, or I'm reacting from an old belief, not my present self. This disarms the inner critic and empowers the inner witness. 3. Reframe. Now, gently shift the lens. You don't have to jump to toxic positivity. Just choose a more empowered truth. Examples. I don't have to figure it all out right now. Uncertainty doesn't mean danger. I can be with this feeling and still move forward. This thought isn't the truth, it's a habit. Let your reframe be grounded and believable. Part 5. Awareness as a daily practice. It's a practice, a muscle, a sacred pause. So let's explore how you can make awareness part of your daily rhythm without overwhelm. Here are some ideas you can use right away. Morning check-in. Before your day begins, place one hand on your heart and ask, what's my dominant energy this morning? Is this mine or something I've picked up? Write it down. Breathe. Decide how you want to shift or stay. Part 6. Midday reset. Set a phone reminder with a question like, am I present or spiraling? Pause. Breathe. Choose again. Part 7. Evening awareness reflection. Ask yourself, where did I stay aware today? Where did I fall into autopilot? What would my higher self do differently next time? Celebrate your awareness, no matter how small. You are unlearning a lifetime of mental noise. Be patient with your process. Part 8. Closing reflection. Your new default is awareness. There is power in naming. There is safety in presence. There is wisdom in not reacting immediately, but pausing with intention. You are not your thoughts. You are the space they pass through. You are the calm in the eye of the storm. You are the breath that brings you back to now. And now that you know how to pause, you can return anytime, even in the middle of the spiral, especially in the middle of the spiral. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be aware, again and again, until awareness becomes your new home. Part 8. Your practices this week. Here's what I encourage you to do over the next few days. 1. Practice the awareness. Pause once per day, even just for 30 seconds. To use the name, claim, and reframe process in your journal or mind when spiraling. 3. Try the morning check-in, midday reset, or evening reflection, whichever feels most natural. 4. Celebrate your wins. Every time you catch a loop before it deepens, that's a breakthrough. In the next module, you'll meet your higher self, not as a concept, but as your inner compass for decision-making, presence, and calm. Until then, slow down, name what's real, and remember, every pause is a return, every breath is a beginning, every moment of awareness is an act of power. Let's keep going. Welcome to Module 3, Higher Self-Alignment, the module where everything begins to shift. So far, you've learned how to recognize the spiral of overthinking. You've practiced pausing, observing, and returning to presence. Now, we go deeper into who is watching, who is choosing, who you truly are beneath the noise. Because clarity doesn't just come from thinking less. It comes from leading with the right part of you. Part 1. Who is your higher self? Let's begin with the simplest truth. Your higher self is not outside you. It's not an ideal to chase. It's not someone you become. It's someone you remember. The higher self is the wisest, calmest, most loving version of you. The one that sees clearly, acts with intention, and speaks from soul, not fear. In spiritual psychology, we often describe the higher self as the observer of the mind, not the mind itself, the intuitive, not the analytical, the essence, not the identity. It's the stillness underneath the swirl, the knowing underneath the need to figure it out, the voice that whispers, you already know, and the more you align with it, the less chaos you tolerate, the less validation you need, the more natural clarity becomes. Part 2. Ego versus higher self. The identity shift. Let's contrast for a moment. The egoic self, or overthinking identity, reacts quickly, often from fear, obsessively predicts, plans, protects, craves control and external validation, feels threatened by uncertainty. The higher self responds slowly, with grounded wisdom, moves from presence, not panic, is guided by intuition, not logic alone, feels safe in the unknown. Here's the key: the ego shouts, the higher self whispers. So when your mind is loud, the task isn't to fight it, it's to listen beneath it. Let's practice. Part 3. Grounding practice. Breath into self. Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly, and take a deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Let's do 3 rounds together. Inhale through the nose, slow, steady. Exhale through the mouth, release, soften. Again, and once more. Now, imagine your breath is clearing a path inward. Each breath clears the fog. Each breath brings you closer to stillness. Each breath makes space for your higher self to speak. Part 4. Guided visualization. Meeting your higher self. Let's journey inward now. Close your eyes if it's safe to do so. Let yourself settle. Let the outside world blur into background. Now imagine you're walking through a quiet forest at sunrise. Everything is still, golden, peaceful. You feel safe, held, deeply grounded. As you walk, you see a figure ahead. They turn toward you, and it's you, but not the you weighed down by overthinking. This version of you is calm, clear, certain. They smile not with pride, but with deep knowing, like they've always been here, waiting for you to remember. Notice what they're wearing, how they stand. what their energy feels like. Now, ask them, what do you want me to remember right now? Listen, let their words rise. Ask them, how would you handle what I'm facing today? Let the insight land, not in your mind, but in your body. Now, imagine you step forward, and this version of you steps into you, fully, seamlessly. You are them, because you've always been. Breathe here, let it integrate. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Part 5, Reflection, Invitation. After this session, I invite you to journal. What did your higher self say or show you? What sensations or messages came through? What does it feel like to embody that version now? This isn't just visualization, it's identity re-anchoring. Part 6, Higher Self Mantras for Daily Grounding. Here are a few mantras to speak aloud or write down daily. Choose the one that resonates most, or create your own. I trust my inner knowing more than my fear. My higher self leads, and my mind supports. I do not chase control. I choose alignment. Stillness is where my truth lives. I don't have to know everything to move forward. Say them slow. Say them like you mean it. Let them rewrite your mental script, one word at a time. Part 7, Embodied Alignment. How to stay in higher self mode. Here's how you start making higher self your new default. 1. Pause before reacting. Ask, what would my highest self choose right now? 2. Create decision filters. Let intuition guide logic. Don't let fear lead the way. 3. Check your energy, not just your calendar. Do you feel called to this, or just obligated? 4. Choose rituals over rushing. The higher self isn't in a hurry. They are efficient because they're aligned. Part 8, Closing Integration. Become the compass. You are not lost. You were just led by noise. But now you know the way back. Back to the version of you who speaks with clarity, acts with purpose, and leads from soul, not survival. The more you listen to that part, the quieter everything else becomes. You don't have to become your higher self. You already are. Now, you just remember. So take a breath, anchor in, and repeat after me. I lead with clarity. I trust what I know. I am my higher self now. Let's keep going. Until then, stay soft, stay still, stay aligned. Welcome to Module 4, Declutter the Mind. Simplify to see clearly. This module is about creating space, not just in your schedule or your surroundings, but in your mind. Because the truth is, you were never meant to hold this much. You were never meant to think in circles all day, every day. You are allowed to make space for silence, for stillness, for something new. Let's begin by exhaling together. Breathe in deeply, hold, exhale slowly, one more time. Let the noise soften, let the clutter settle. Let us begin. Part 1. Why mental clarity matters. The human brain processes thousands of thoughts per day, most of them repetitive, reactive, or rooted in unresolved emotion. Clarity is not the absence of thought. It's the ability to see what matters and let go of what doesn't. In this module, we'll focus on practical, soul-centered tools to declutter your thoughts, filter your mental energy, build daily rituals that protect your clarity, and learn to think one thought at a time, like a calm stream, not a rushing flood. Part 2. Cognitive Decluttering, Thought Dump and Filter. The first practice is called a thought dump and filter. It's a process of mental hygiene, much like cleaning out a cluttered drawer, but for your brain. Step 1. Thought dump. Grab a notebook or open a blank page. Set a timer for 3 to 5 minutes. Now write everything that's swirling in your mind: tasks, emotions, conversations, regrets, to-dos, worries. Don't censor, don't organize, don't fix, just release. Let it all spill onto the page. Pause this audio now if you'd like to do it in real time. 1. Now, look at what you wrote. This is your mental inventory, not to overwhelm you, but to externalize what your brain was holding on to without your permission. Now let's move to step 2, the filter. Step 2. Filter with 3 questions. Ask yourself, what is mine to handle right now? What can be released, delegated, or delayed? What was never mine to begin with? Circle what truly matters. Cross out what doesn't. Underline what needs love, not solving. This process alone can create instant spaciousness, because often the clutter isn't your circumstances, it's your relationship to your thoughts. Part 3, AM/PM Mental Hygiene Rituals. Let's bring this clarity into your daily rhythm. Think of this as mental hygiene, like brushing your brain. Morning, mental priming. Each morning ask, what's one clear intention for today? What's one thought I'd like to lead with? What can I let go of before the day even begins? Write your answers. Speak them aloud. Let them shape your presence. Evening thought clearing. Each night, try this simple ritual. Write down 3 dominant thoughts from the day. Acknowledge any loops or worries without judgment. Write, I release these now. I do not need to carry them into sleep. Then close your notebook, place your hand on your heart, and say, I choose peace tonight. Simple, intentional, powerful. Part 4, the overthinking audit. Now let's look more closely at the types of thoughts that clutter your mind most. There are typically 4 categories: past-focused loops, replaying old conversations, regrets, or what-ifs. 2. Future projections, worrying about what might happen. 3. Self-doubt scripts, thoughts that challenge your worth, enoughness, or competence. 4. Mental to-do lists, never-ending, fragmented, chaotic. Which ones dominate your mind? No shame, just awareness. You'll find an overthinking audit worksheet in your workbook to go deeper. Use it regularly to spot patterns, because what you track, you can change. Part 5, practice, one thought at a time drill. Let's practice the art of single thought focus. Find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring to mind one single thought you want to hold. Just one. It might be a mantra, a decision, a feeling of calm. Hold it gently in your awareness. Now breathe with it. Notice how your mind will want to add more, loop, wander. When it does, gently return to your one thought. Stay with it for a minute. Let's begin now. Pause for a moment. Good. This is your mental rep, the strengthening of clarity, discipline, and choice. Even 60 seconds of this daily can shift how you move through your day. Part 5, Inner Clarity Template. Another tool in your workbook is the Inner Clarity Template. Use it when you feel overwhelmed or unsure. It asks, what matters most right now? What am I making more complicated than it needs to be? What does my higher self know to be true? What is my one next clear step? Return to this whenever you feel lost in loops. Clarity doesn't always mean having a full plan. Sometimes it's just one breath, one choice, one truth. Part 6, Closing Reflection. Simplicity is sacred. You don't need more productivity hacks. You don't need to organize every single thought. You just need to remember this. Your mind is not meant to be a storage unit. It's meant to be a clear channel, a space for guidance, creativity, intuition, presence. And you don't get there by thinking harder. You get there by letting go. So today, let go of the clutter. Let go of the noise. Let go of needing to hold it all. Your clarity lives in the quiet. Let's return to it again and again. In the next module, we'll explore emotional reset tools to regulate your nervous system and protect your peace, even when the world feels overwhelming. Until then, breathe deeply, think simply, and trust that clarity was never far, just buried under the noise. You're already returning. Let's keep going. Welcome to Module 5, Emotional Reset Techniques. By now, you've started witnessing your thoughts. You've learned to pause. You've met your higher self. You've even begun to declutter the chaos in your mind. But here's the truth. Sometimes, clarity doesn't come from the mind at all. It comes from the body. Because when your nervous system is in survival mode, even the wisest thoughts sound like noise. This module is your invitation to get back in the body, to reset your emotional state through sensation, movement, and presence. You don't have to think your way to peace. You can feel your way there. Let's begin. Part 1. Why body-based tools work. Overthinking often comes from one root cause, a dysregulated nervous system. When the body feels unsafe, the mind tries to compensate by planning, predicting, overanalyzing, replaying the past, trying to think through feelings. But this doesn't work, because your body doesn't speak in words. It speaks in sensation, rhythm, and energy. So in this module, we'll explore 4 powerful techniques that bring your body back into safety, which naturally brings your mind back into clarity. Tool 1. Tapping EFT for overthinking. Tapping, also known as Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT, is a simple method of gently tapping acupressure points on your body to calm the stress response. Let's do a short tapping session together for spiraling thoughts. Place 2 fingers of one hand on the side of your other hand, the karate chop point. Now repeat after me, out loud or silently, even though my mind is spiraling right now. I honor how I feel, and I choose to come back to calm. Now tap the following points as I guide you. Eyebrow point. My mind is moving too fast. Side of eye. I feel overwhelmed and out of control. Under eye. There's so much I can't stop thinking about. Under nose. I feel stuck in the loop. Chin point. And I am open to feeling calm again. Collarbone. I give myself permission to pause. Top of head. I am safe to slow down now. Breathe in. Exhale gently. You can repeat this sequence anytime you feel anxious or trapped in your mind. The rhythm of tapping brings your body back to balance. Tool 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grounding technique. This is a classic and powerful method to re-anchor into the present moment. It's perfect for when you feel flooded by thoughts or emotions. Let's practice it now. Take a slow, deep breath. Now notice 5 things you can see. Look around you. Say them quietly in your mind. I see the light on the wall. I see the trees outside. 4 things you can feel. Your body sensations. I feel the chair beneath me. I feel my heartbeat. 3 things you can hear. Ambient sounds around you. I hear birds. I hear distant traffic. 2 things you can smell. Subtle scents, even if imagined. I smell coffee. I smell my lotion. 1 thing you can taste, or simply become aware of your mouth. Now take 1 more breath. Feel your body, right here. Your mind is already quieter, simply because you returned to your senses. Use this technique anytime you feel like you're leaving yourself. Tool 3. Grounding Walk Meditation. This is a simple but deeply restorative practice. A walk where the destination doesn't matter, only presence does. Here's how it works. When you walk, slow down your pace. With each step, say to yourself, I am here, I am safe, I am in this moment. You might want to add, I do not need to solve everything right now. Focus on the pressure of your feet touching the ground, the movement of your arms, the rhythm of your breath, the beauty around you, even in small details. This is movement-based mindfulness. It clears not just your mind, but your whole field. Tool 4. Create your emergency.com kit. This final tool is a custom toolkit of body-based sensory anchors you can turn to during mental storms. Here are some ideas to include. A breathwork technique that grounds you. A song or playlist that calms your energy. A scent, essential oil, lotion, or candle. A mantra to repeat. For example, I am safe. I return to now. A small object to hold stone, charm, texture, a safe space, corner, window, trail, bath. You are not weak for needing tools. You are wise for knowing how to return to your center. Calm is a skill. Let's anchor the truth. Peace is not a personality trait. It's a skill, a practice, a decision. You don't have to wait for your mind to be quiet to feel calm. You calm the body first, and the mind will follow. So next time you spiral, ask, what does my body need right now? Not my thoughts. And begin there. Breathe, tap, feel, move, return. This is your new way forward. In the next module, we'll shift our focus to your inner narrative and begin rewriting the story that fuels the spiral. But for now, walk slower, breathe deeper, and know this. You are not just managing anxiety, you are rewiring your body to feel safe in its own presence. And that changes everything. Let's keep going. Welcome to Module 6, Rewrite the Inner Story. Up until now, we've been working with your thoughts, your body, your breath, your awareness. But in this module, we work with your narrative, because every thought lives inside a story, and every story you tell yourself either anchors your peace or unravels it. Today, you'll learn to recognize the internal scripts that keep you in fear, overwhelm, or overthinking, and then rewrite them into new truths that support calm, confident, soul-aligned living. Let's begin. Part 1. Why the story matters. Every moment, your mind is telling a story about who you are, about what is possible, about what you deserve, about how safe or unsafe the world is. Most of these stories were inherited or absorbed unconsciously from childhood, past experiences, cultural beliefs, or trauma. And the thing about stories is, they feel real, even when they're not true. Here are a few examples of common internal scripts. If I don't control everything, it will fall apart. No one listens to me. I always mess things up. I have to be perfect to be safe. I'm too much. I'm not enough. Sound familiar? These aren't just thoughts, they're stories. And they shape how you see yourself, how you move through life, and how you experience peace. But the good news, you are not the story. You are the author, and you can choose to write a new one. Part 2. The Thought Reauthoring Method. Let's walk through a powerful 4-step process to shift your inner narrative. You'll find a worksheet for this in your companion workbook, but for now, I'll guide you step by step. Step 1. Identify the old script. Think of a moment you felt triggered recently, anxious, overwhelmed, unworthy, reactive. Now ask, what was the story running in the background of that moment? Example: I was late to a meeting and I kept thinking, they're going to think I'm unreliable. That's the story. Name it, own it, gently. Step 2. Investigate the story. Ask yourself, is this story fact or just a habit? Where did I learn this narrative? What part of me is this story trying to protect? This step brings compassion into the process. Your stories weren't born from weakness. They were born from survival. But you don't need to live in survival anymore. Step 3. Reframe the narrative. Now write a more empowering, soul-aligned version of that same story. Example: old, they'll think I'm unreliable. New, I honor that I'm human, and being late doesn't erase my value. Or, I'm showing up imperfectly, but still with integrity. Let it feel true, not fake positivity. You're not bypassing the truth. You're reclaiming your voice. Step 4. Anchor the new story. This is where we embed the reframe into your body and being. You might speak it aloud each morning. Write it daily. Record it as a personal affirmation. Use it as a mantra during stressful moments. You'll create your own higher self-affirmation audio in this module. More on that shortly. But first, let's practice bringing your inner story into clarity. Part 3. Guided Journaling. From chaos to clarity. Take a breath. Settle into your space and allow these prompts to guide you inward. You can write them later or simply reflect for now. What story do I keep telling myself that always leads to stress? Where did this story originate, and what does it protect me from? What deeper truth do I now know about myself? What story do I want to live from instead? You don't have to fix the whole narrative right now. Just take the pen back into your hand. Because when you shift the story, you shift your identity. You shift your experience. You shift your energy. Part 4. Create your higher self-affirmation audio. This is your invitation to create a personal power recording, a voice memo from your highest self to your current self. It doesn't have to be fancy, just honest. Here's a simple structure you can use. I am learning to trust myself, even in the unknown. I no longer believe. Insert your old story. I now choose to live from. Insert your new truth. My peace is not conditional. It is my baseline. I am the author of my inner world. I choose clarity now. Read it. Record it. Play it. When you wake up. When you spiral. Before bed. Let your own voice become the most grounding sound in your life. Part 5. Closing reflection. You are the storyteller. Let me leave you with this. The most powerful shift you can make is not in your schedule, or your habits, or even your thoughts. It's in your story, because you live how you speak to yourself. So today, let the story change. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not the fear voice in your mind. You are the clarity, the calm, the author, the one who gets to choose differently now. And that is true power. In the next module, we'll design your daily reset ritual so your clarity and confidence aren't random, but repeated. Until then, speak kindly, write boldly, live aligned. Let's keep going. Welcome to Module 7, Design Your Daily Reset Ritual. You've been doing deep inner work. You've paused the spirals, met your higher self, cleared the mental clutter, and rewritten the story. Now it's time to ask, how do I keep my clarity daily? How do I return to my center on purpose? Because transformation isn't just what happens once, it's what you build into your rhythm. This module is about making clarity a practice, not a performance, a ritual, not a rescue. Let's begin. Part 1. Why rituals matter. We live in a noisy, fast-moving world. It's easy to forget what matters. It's easy to fall back into reaction, autopilot, spiraling. But your nervous system craves anchors. Your soul craves stillness. And your mind, it craves simplicity. That's why we create a ritual. A ritual isn't a routine. It's a sacred, intentional pause. A bridge between chaos and clarity. A moment where you say, I choose presence. I choose peace. I choose me. Step 1. Choose your signature reset tools. In your workbook, you'll find a menu of calming, grounding tools. Let's explore a few here so you can begin to choose what aligns with you. You only need 2 to 4 tools that work consistently. Keep it simple. Possible tools: breathwork, box breathing, 4-7-8 breath, sigh release, body movement, stretching, walking, shaking, yoga, mantras, I am centered, I am safe, I am clear, meditation, guided, silent, nature-based, journaling, stream of consciousness, or focused prompts, visualization, meeting your higher self, clarity scenes, music or sound, binaural beats, high-frequency playlists, scent or touch, essential oils, weighted blanket, nature, cold water reset, face splash, shower, hand rinse, mindful tea, or breath break. Think of your reset ritual like a mental-emotional hygiene kit. What helps you come back home to you? Choose 2 to 3 tools that feel accessible, enjoyable, and powerful. Step 2. Design your morning ritual. This is the ritual that sets your tone. It doesn't have to be long, just intentional. In your workbook, you'll complete the morning reset template. But let's reflect now. When will I practice this? Time trigger. What tools will I include? 2 to 3 max. What's one intention I want to anchor in the morning? How do I want to feel by the end of it? Example: morning ritual. 4-7-8 breath, 2 minutes. Say, I choose clarity, not chaos. Journal. What would calm leadership look like today? That's it. 3 minutes. Total reset. Step 3. Design your evening ritual. Your evening ritual is where you release the day. It tells your nervous system, we're safe now. We can let go. Even 5 minutes can change your sleep, dreams, and reactivity tomorrow. Consider unwinding breath, gratitude journaling, forgiveness or release statements. What am I carrying that I no longer need? Gentle music, oil, or herbal tea. A mantra like, I return to peace. Example: evening ritual. Write 3 thoughts I no longer need. Say aloud, I release them now. Place one hand on my heart. Breathe, rest. Rituals work not because they're long, but because they're yours. Part 2. Reflection. What does clarity look like for me? Before you build your ritual, ask this: what does clarity feel like in my body? What does it sound like in my mind? How do I know when I've returned to it? You'll find this reflection in your workbook as well. It will help you personalize your ritual to support your version of alignment. Because this isn't about copying someone else's flow. It's about becoming your own guide. Part 4. Closing reminder. Make it yours. A daily ritual doesn't need candles, silence, or perfection. It just needs presence. It's your declaration. I choose to come back to myself, even if just for 2 minutes. Because the real power of clarity is this: it's not something you chase. It's something you return to, again and again, breath by breath, thought by thought, ritual by ritual. This is how peace becomes your new baseline, not by chance, but by design. Let's make it sacred. Let's make it yours. In the next module, will dive into your energy field and teach you how to recognize, protect, and elevate your frequency with intention. But for now, return to your breath, return to your tools, return to your ritual. Clarity is already waiting. Let's keep going. Welcome to Module 8, Living Present, Living Aligned. Take a moment right now. Place one hand on your heart. Take a breath. You made it here, not just to the final module, but to a deeper version of yourself. Over the last 7 modules, you've been witnessing your spirals, returning to your body, meeting your higher self, decluttering the noise, rewriting your story, designing your rituals, reclaiming your inner compass. Now, we take all of that and live it, because healing is not just an experience, it's a way of being. And this final module is your bridge from transformation to integration. Let's begin. Part 1. What it means to live aligned. To live aligned means my outer life reflects my inner truth. I don't just know who I am, I live from that place. I honor the voice of my higher self more than the noise of my ego. Alignment isn't about perfection, it's about congruence. It's when your thoughts, feelings, decisions, and direction all point toward peace. It's not about never spiraling again. It's about catching yourself with compassion and returning. So let's talk about how you build that life. Step 1. Identify your alignment anchors. These are the inner cues that tell you when you are living in flow and when you're drifting from it. Reflect on what values bring you into peace. For example, simplicity, truth, presence. What activities return you to clarity? What choices energize you and what drains you? What body signals tell you when you're in alignment? These are your anchors. When I do, fill in the blank. I return to my higher self. You'll map these in your workbook as your alignment blueprint. Step 2. Monthly self-check-in ritual. Integration requires maintenance, not discipline, but devotion. Once a month, take 15 to 20 minutes to check in with yourself. Ask, how am I feeling emotionally and energetically? What has been keeping me in alignment lately? Where have I been drifting into old patterns? What needs to shift or soften in the month ahead? This monthly ritual keeps your clarity from becoming accidental and makes your transformation sustainable. Create a calendar reminder. Light a candle. Make it sacred. You'll find a ritual template in your workbook. Step 3. Create your higher self compass. Now, let's put it all together into one intuitive decision-making guide. Your higher self compass. This isn't about rigid rules, it's about soft guidance. Answer these 4 questions in your workbook. 1. When I'm aligned, I feel. 2. When I'm misaligned, I notice. 3. My higher self guides me through. 4. I return to clarity by. Keep this compass close. When life gets busy or messy, you don't have to figure it all out. You just follow the compass home. Part 2. Final reflections. Who you've become. Let's pause and ask, who have you become through this journey? Not in words, but in energy. Feel into it. Are you more still inside? More trusting of yourself? More guided by truth than noise? That's not an accident. That's embodiment. That's integration. That's the beginning of living, not from your spiraling thoughts, but from your still inner knowing. And here's what I want you to remember. You are not here to be fixed. You are here to remember, to return, to realign. Your higher self was never gone, just quieted by the noise. But now you have the tools, the rituals, the compass, the choice, and you don't need to be perfect to stay aligned. You just need to keep returning. That is presence, that is power, that is peace. Thank you for taking this journey. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for remembering who you are. And above all, never forget, the path to calm isn't out there. It lives within you. And you now have the key. Let's keep walking, one aligned breath at a time. Take a moment. Close your eyes if it feels safe. Place a hand on your heart. Breathe in, breathe out. You made it. Not just to the end of this course, but to the beginning of a new way of living. You've done more than listen. You've rewired spirals, met your higher self, learned to pause with power, and remembered something sacred. Your calm is not a destination. It's your birthright. And now it's your practice. Over the past 8 modules, you've silenced the noise of overthinking, built rituals that reset your nervous system, rewritten the stories that kept you small, designed a life that honors alignment over anxiety, and learned how to return again and again to the deepest truth of who you are. This isn't just knowledge. It's integration. It's embodiment. It's freedom. And the most beautiful part, the version of you you've been seeking, has been inside you this entire time. So what's next? Keep practicing. Keep returning. Let the lessons live through you. When a spiral begins, you now know how to stop it. When chaos speaks, you know how to listen deeper. And when doubt rises, you have the tools and the truth to return to clarity. You are no longer led by noise. You are led by wisdom. You are no longer ruled by fear. You are ruled by peace. You are no longer disconnected from your power. You are the power. If this video sparked something in you, even just a breath of clarity or a moment of stillness, share it with someone you care about. Let's ripple, calm outward, one conscious soul at a time. Your voice matters here, so drop a comment below. Tell us what landed for you. What shift are you claiming today? You never know who your words might inspire. And if you're ready to go deeper, to journal, reflect, and truly embody this work, I've created a beautiful companion workbook just for you. You'll find it linked below in the description. It's more than pages. It's your space to integrate everything you're awakening. Treat it like a sacred mirror, a reset button, a ritual. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Make sure you're subscribed, because this journey, we're just getting started.